Okay, we're live. Thank you so much for joining me. Welcome to Be the Boss of Your Money. A couple of quick things to cover. I'm going to give you such a great show today. We're going to fly through this and go over some weird shit going on that you need to know. Get the social media icons going. We're going to roll the introduction in a second. But what happened? The big election. Do you remember yesterday? I just want to point this out. We talked about this yesterday. Don't I'm not making any changes based on the outcome of the election. I'm not trying to lecture. I just said that, you know, whatever happens, you might be surprised. You might not get what you expect. And we didn't. We didn't get the red wave. Everybody thought that's what we are going to have. I said, don't make changes to your investment plans because we go through these elections all the time. The House is up for reelection. It's every 2 years. And it's you can't make up your you can't completely you could do whatever you want, but I'm saying to reconfigure your entire investment portfolio and forget about your long-term goals and your time horizon, the personal finance factors that you should go by. If you change all the time, then you're getting away from your personal finance. It's just a really bad way to manage your portfolio based on the political wins. I remember in set in 2018, 2017 was all about President Trump being impeached, and he was. And you know what it did to the market for investors? What happened? Nothing. Just you went right through it. And that's what I'm telling you now is don't let the fear and the drama pull you in and get you to do something that you shouldn't be doing. All right. I just hope this resonates. I see it over and over, but I feel like everybody, you know, I feel like I feel like everybody has to learn this on their own anyway. So we had the election, not the outcome people expected. Nobody's really willing to call the House or the Senate yet. It's projected that the House might get Republicans might have 220 seats. They needed 218, so the um, the margin is like ever so slight. It's we just have to wait, and we have to see what happens in Georgia between Walker and um, Warnock, and see how that goes. And that's going to be in a couple of weeks. I think it's like in 4 weeks is the runoff in Georgia for the Senate. So a lot going on, a lot of unresolved stuff. But the thing is, there's enough in here for everyone to claim a victory. Republicans can say we made headway, we have more people in elected office. Democrats could say we held off the red wave and the slaughter that everybody was predicting. DeSantis, by a huge margin, took Florida. Hochul, by a pretty decent sized margin, took New York. And there were some governorships up around the country. A lot of things kind of happened the way it was expected. Although Republican Lauren Boebert of Colorado, Rep Boebert, looks like she's going to lose by a good amount. And I don't know. I think if you're Republican or Democrat, you're probably happy to not have that person in the House, right? Did I just get too political there? But looks like we've got some normal people who are winning elections, people who you might even consider a little boring. And I think that's a good thing because these people are going to be making big decisions on our behalf, including possibly going to war with Russia. So it's a big deal. Anyway, everyone gets to claim a little victory here. The market sold off. Well, we had a couple of good days in a row in the market, up days. So we gave it back because of unresolved. The Congress is unresolved in terms of who's going to lead majorities. So Republicans will say, well, that's why the market's down. Democrats could say that's why the market's down also, I guess. But I've been doing this for a long time. There's more to it than just politics. Disney was down $13 a share, which is a Dow stock, so that had a huge and negative effect on the Dow. Also, you should know that ExxonMobil was down over $5 because the price of oil tanked today. lot of liquidity came out of oil. Just oil just got crushed. So ExxonMobil was down a lot. So we just had a lot of individual stories that rocked the market today that pushed things down. It wasn't, I mean, the price of oil and Disney's crazy huge earnings and revenue miss, those had nothing to do with the election. Those things were already, foregone conclusions, what was going to happen to them. So I just want you to keep your head on straight and don't just get into this whole election thing, pushing the market around. There's much bigger news coming out. We have the inflation numbers tomorrow, and then we're going to go over the stock of the day right now, because this is crazy, the stock of the day. So let's roll the intro. And just before we roll the intro, I want to say this. If you're confused about the election, and I see people all over Facebook, my friends all over Facebook, saying this and that, and, claiming victory or claiming, cheated. Why don't you guys, you're probably friends with the same people. Why don't, you probably have friends who are left and right. Why don't you have a nice talk with them and ask them what bothered you so much, that you voted this way. I want to understand. And don't judge somebody. Don't say, oh, well, if you voted that way, you're a freaking idiot. Don't do that. It's we have too much at stake to do that. Just ask someone, what made you decide that's how you wanted to vote? What could have changed your mind? Like, what were like the top 3 issues? Don't ask. Maybe you'll find the answer. Maybe you'll find that you have much more in common with that person than you thought. Maybe you'll find, wow, we both really are coming from good values and a good place. So why do we see things differently if we come from good values and a good place? Just talk to people. Try not to talk over someone's head. I know some people who, if I talk to them about anything about the stuff, it'll just won't be a good conversation. But some people I could talk to, and I will. I look forward to the discovery, and I look forward to learning about myself, and that, friends, is important. All right, let's hit the intro. We're going to go in a second. Here we go. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Mitch Goldberg. You're watching my live stream, Be the Boss of Your Money. It's about taking control of your money, because sometimes your money becomes the boss of you instead of you becoming the boss of your money. You want to be the boss of your money, and you could be a cruel, hardcore boss. You could boss your money as hard as you want. Okay. You be the boss. That's what I want. All right. That's what I want for you. That's the point of the show. All right. So let's start by going over the stock of the day. And the stock of the day today is not actually a stock. The stock of the day is, hold on. Okay. Bear with me. Just stay with me 1 second. Let me do this. It's been a busy day, guys. I normally have all my screens up before I hit the go button to go live. Okay. Now let's pass it around. Okay. Let's get rid of the social media icons. Okay. The stock of the day is not a stock at all. It's Bitcoin. What the hell happened to Bitcoin? Now, I remember talking about, part of my daily update was I used to go through crypto. I stopped talking about crypto because it just kind of got a little boring, and there just wasn't that much interest in it. And I didn't really think something so esoteric needs to get so much attention and time in my live stream. But today I want to give it some time because it's $15,000 a coin, down to like prices it hasn't seen since the year 2020. So it was in the 60,000s at one point. It's given back like 2 years worth of gains. It's at a year low, and it's really insane what's happening. So FTX is the 4th largest crypto exchange, and it looks like they're about to go bust. So FTX is like a bank. It's they hold your crypto. And I don't know where the crypto goes if they're lending it out. Sometimes you see people pushing like you could make 15% in your crypto by lending it out. You know, when you see these commercials or people touting this saying you could make 14, 15% by owning crypto annually. That's amazing. Really off the owner's crypto? Yeah. What they really don't tell you or what's not explained is that they're lending your crypto out almost like a margin, like a stock on margin. What happened is there's a run on the bank. Think of FTX like a crypto bank. This is a tried and true run on the bank. Investors want to pull their crypto, their money slash crypto out of FTX. And guess what? Investors are worried that uh, FTX doesn't have the money. It's kind of like when you go to your local bank. You hear the bank is going to go out of business. And if they go under, if that branch goes under, that bank goes under, what's going to happen to your money? So you go to the bank and you decide, I'm taking out all my money. And then everyone goes to the bank at the same time, but the bank doesn't have all your money. They maybe have 1% of it. The rest of it's loaned out. You know, they banks take your deposits and they make loans and they loan the money out to businesses and consumers. You know, that's what they do. There's a parallel here to FTX. So people are trying to get their money out of FTX. And there's an old, well, I don't know if it's Wall Street adage, but it's something I like to say. Okay. Once investors lose, let me start again. This is what I like to say. Once investors question their confidence in a bank, in a financial institution, they've already lost confidence. Just the mere fact of questioning your confidence, of questioning, you know, their confidence in a bank, that's it. The confidence is gone. Everybody wants out. So Binance, the biggest crypto exchange, I guess holder, exchange, bank, they were going to buy FTX and they were going to rescue FTX. They said, we'll make sure we have all the capital put into FTX to make sure everybody's fine, everybody's whole, nobody has anything to worry about, and stop the bleeding. But keep in mind, FTX and Binance, this was a non-binding letter of intent. See, FTX should have gotten the binding letter of intent. But once it's, you know, and so Binance said they were going to buy FTX yesterday. Today they said, yeah, you know what? We changed our mind. And I'll tell you why they changed their mind. I'll tell you why I think they changed their mind. They looked at FTX and they said, holy smokes, the problems here are too much. This would be a mistake for us to get involved with. So we're not doing it. And that was it. The FTX coin that people use to, I guess, track the confidence and value of FTX plunged. Everyone's trying to get their money out, and it's rocking the crypto market. And that's why Bitcoin is down so much. Now, I talked about crypto a little while ago, and another financial advisor commented, it's amazing how well crypto is holding up around that $20,000 level. And it was like 19, 20, touch 18, 21, 22, but it was holding around 20. That was true. It was about 20. And here we are. We just broke right through it. And I think the negativity, the reduction of investors speculating or running away from a speculative asset like Bitcoin is spreading to the rest of the market. A contagion of a loss of confidence, if you will, is spreading through the market. And when that happens, it'll typically hit tech stocks, high PE stocks, you know, what we consider highly valued stocks, companies that make very little money or are losing money. And that's what you saw get rocked the most today. And in the aggregate, I'm not saying it, you know, Disney or ExxonMobil is like that. Okay. So the next stock of the day is Meta, and Meta was up $5. Okay. Meta. Now, if you don't know, Meta is Facebook. Facebook changed their name to Meta, and as a result, they changed their ticker symbol from FB to META. Meta up 5. They're laying off about 11% of their staff. finally acknowledging that they've got to get the costs under control. It's kind of weird because, social media has been doing so well and the growth has been so strong. And all of a sudden, like, what happened? I thought you guys would grow and grow forever and you need all these employees. But all of a sudden, these companies like Meta, they became real companies, and now they have to worry about their bottom line and cut costs and fire people like every other, real quote. I'm doing air quote real, company. So that is what happened. Disney was down $13, but that was our stock of the day yesterday. ExxonMobil was down $5 today, and just to give you an idea of how everything else went today, let's take a look at the major averages. Okay. So you see everything was down about 2%, but the NASDAQ was down 2.5%. So it kind of goes along with what I was saying about the crypto. Okay. The 10-year yield is going down. There's a flight to safety. Investors are running into bonds, not selling bonds. So yields are starting to go down a little bit. Oil down over $3. The VIX was up only a little bit. That's surprising. The VIX was barely up 50.55 or 2% on the day. That's like nothing considering how much the major averages went down. I like to say a 1% move in the major averages gets my attention. 2%, I'm looking. I'm interested. You have my attention. And let's take a look at the bond market. See this? Yields are down almost across the board, slightly up on the 30-year, but how many of us are really buying 30-year bonds? Most of us are kind of, short term and up. But the 1 year is still over 4.7, but nonetheless, yields are down across the board. And that, my friends, that is basically the story of what happened today. So today was unresolved election outcome. Both sides can claim victory. Only one side will have victory. But for now, everyone found something to crow about, to win about. But there's uncertainty. Disney, ExxonMobil, and crypto basically get the credit for slamming the market. And that's just the day you had. And we're going to have days like these. It's very disappointing to me, though, to see Disney break through a year low after this whole bear market. You think we're getting ready for a turnaround. People are back at the parks. But that's why investing in stocks is risky business. That's why we diversify. Diversification is a strategy that we use to mitigate risk, but it doesn't necessarily protect your portfolio from a down market. And you can't invest directly into an index, but you could invest in a security that tracks or mimics an index. Okay, I said my piece. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll see what the world looks like. We'll see if anything new comes up in politics. There's still a couple of races that could be called tonight or tomorrow. I haven't seen anything yet about big lawsuits or major challenges yet, but it's probably because there's still mail-in and absentee ballots that are still being counted in a bunch of jurisdictions. All right, that's my story. I'm getting out of here. Have a good night, guys. Bye.